Radio 103.1 FM, bardzo świąteczno-noworocznym nastroju. Trochę podsumowań, trochę życzeń, trochę pewnie wspomnień. W studiu Frank Spula, witam, dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry panu.
Prezes Związku Narodowego Polskiego, Kongresu Polonii Amerykańskiej, no oczywiście prezes również naszej stacji, wydawca Dziennika Związkowego. Mr. President, it's been a very interesting year. America has chosen the president that you know in person well. And it doesn't happen often, and I've seen it, that the President of the United States calls someone on his cell phone, and this person is you. You have a very special relationship with President-elect Trump. What's so special about it? If you can share it.
Oh, I don't know if there's anything special. I appreciate your comments that you have made, Mr. Niemczyk. However, I think it's a plus for our community, not only for myself, that President Trump actually reached out to us. Not only that he was here a number of years ago for his first election, and you were part and parcel of that discussion and interview process as well. And you know, he reached out to the Polish community, so I think it's a respect that he shows to us as a community, as an ethnic group, because we are a large voting bloc as well, and he recognizes that, you know, from a political perspective and personal perspective as well. And we look at his own life. He's really affiliated with the European community, just, you know, on his own personal basis within his own family. So when I take a look at that he reached out to us, he reached out not only to me, but to the Polish-American community. And that's the way I interpret that.
I do remember the meeting in 2016. I was as a part of this meeting, long meeting, much longer than expected, and then I had a chance to interview him in person, and it was something special. And there were promises, and some promises, and it's rare with politicians, he kept.
You are so correct. You know, you're right, Mr. Niemczyk. He did keep his promise. When he was here, he had asked, what do I need, or what does the community? I said, I don't need anything personally, but the community needed, obviously, the visa waiver situation, and that was going on for years. You know, the Polish-American Congress, as well as other organizations, had tried so desperately to get the visa waiver approved. And unfortunately, it didn't succeed until he was here and he'd asked, what do we need? And that was the visa waiver program. And the other was the enlargement of forces in Poland. And again, he admitted that if I'm elected president, I will resolve these issues. I will take care of it in the next couple of weeks as soon as I'm elected. And us that know the political process, doesn't work like that, but he did keep his word. He got the visa waiver program too, and he increased the forces in Poland as well. Plus other things he's done, even with the natural gas, with the gas itself. Those are huge deals for Poland and for the United States, but more so for Poland. So yes, as a president, whether we agree with him or not, we don't have to. But again, anybody who's in a leadership position, you have people that will agree with you and disagree with you. But he's kept his word for us, and he's led our country in a positive tone.
Our listeners might not be aware, but this building hosted not only one, not only two, but many presidents of the United States.
Sure, we've had President Reagan here, President Bush. We've had our Polish president as well. We had the Polish ambassador. We had, you know, now currently Ambassador Brzezinski was here. We had Ambassador Sikorski when he was ambassador to Poland. I'm sorry, from Poland to the United States. And we've had President Kaczynski here and various ministers and dignitaries as well from Poland as well as the United States. Our governors, our mayor. And again, I believe, you know, to just summarize that or underscore that shows respect for the Polish community, for the Polish National Alliance, for the Polish-American Congress, and for our radio station as well as the newspaper, because they recognize that as a leader, as a format.
Some call this place Polish White House, and as it is, because every single politician that newly elected or re-elected is here. Some local politicians are here. And as you mentioned, whether you like them or not, these are official elected individuals that we should have a respect to. Do you have a respect to the new government in Poland? Because you know these people from the previous being in power of era.
You know, in response to your question, yes, I respect the government. And why I respect the governments, it's because it's elected by the people. They're not forced upon anyone. The people democrated these individuals. And whether we like them or not, the people have spoken. The people have spoken. That's the way to interpret it. And they're elected by the body, by the majority, and we need to contend with them and see what kind of performance they do. We have to give them a report card. After their term is expired, we will again have an election process to determine whether we re-elect them or have a new government or a new election.
But we do not respond to the government in Poland. We here in the United States, most of our citizens of this country, we call it a second home or first home for most everybody. It is a home for you. You're proud to be Polish American, obviously, but American in heart and Polish by which generation?
Well,
let us remind you of your background.
I'm a third generation here in this country. My mother was born here. My grandparents were actually married here at a church, St. John Cantius. And they participated at Holy Innocents Church as well. My mother was christened at Holy Innocents, again. And the war broke out and they went to Poland for a vacation and they did not return. But again, my grandparents, again, I reiterate, they were married here and went back to Poland. Their roots were in Poland. And my mother's siblings were all born in Poland because she stayed during the war. She stayed, and all the siblings, the grandparents never returned back to the United States. And everyone that was born in Poland was invited here to come to this country. And out of the 6 brothers and sisters that she had, 3 of them, all invited, 3 of them went back, 3 of them stayed. So again, you know, our patriotism, yes, I'm very patriotic towards America, towards the United States, and toward Poland itself. I'm very proud of what Poland has done and of our heritage as well, all the luminaries that we've had over the years, right from the beginning. And when we take a look at the relationship between the United States and Poland, it gives us, as Polish Americans, something to be proud of. And when they came here in 1608, then the strike happens in 1619, and the people, the Polish workers didn't fight or didn't strike for wages, they struck for voting rights. Again, it's just a tribute to what our community, our Poland itself.
Zbliżają się święta. Święta to oczywiście te polskie tradycje, które jestem pewny w Pana rodzinie również były. Czy możemy zdradzić, co będzie na stole?
Zawsze była, Wigilia jest bardzo ważna dla nas, zawsze drzewko było ubrane we Wigilię, bo było żywe, prawdziwe drzewko. Z ojcem zawsze z tatą wyjeździliśmy kupić drzewko parę dni wcześniej i we Wigilię się zawsze ubrało to drzewko i była tradycyjna Wigilia kolacja z rodziną i najbliższych ludzi.
Barszcz, zupa grzybowa, tak. Pierogi.
Pierogi, tak, ryba, ryba, takie rzeczy, co naprawdę ja dalej nie lubię tych ryb, ale te rzeczy to buraki takie, grzyby i pierogi zawsze byli dobrze przyjęte.
Mam nadzieję, że w tym roku również pojawią się wszystkie te rzeczy. Zanim jeszcze życzenia, to oczekiwania na rok 2025. I to te oczekiwania od prezesa Kongresu Polonii Amerykańskiej. Przecież kilka tygodni temu Polish American Congress celebrated 80 years of in existence, last 20 years under your leadership. It's very important that we keep this in mind. What would you expect, are you expecting in 2025 for Poland, for the United States, for the relationships between our countries, for us?
First of all, the relationship does exist between Poland and the United States. We're really good partners as well. For many years, we're partners. And you know, whether it's President Trump or President Biden, they've all recited that in their comments as well. When President Trump was in Poland in 2017, he reinforced the position of Poland and the United States. And President Biden, too, has said, you know, positive things about Poland, and even the involvement of Poland in helping assist in Ukraine during these crises, during the war itself. Now, coming back to your question, what do I'd like to see the Polish American Congress do? I would certainly hope that our organization can encourage younger people to be involved in public service, in politics. We have such a powerful group, and I'm talking education-wise, we have a very astute group of Polish Americans, and I say Polish Americans because the children that were born here within the last 20, 25 years have been educated here, and they have American roots of Polish background. They're American just like I am. However, and we have the intelligence behind them, and we have the financial resources as well. We have a lot of successful people in our country. I'm talking whether they're self-employed, whether they're contractors, doctors, or educators, or attorneys. We have a very sophisticated group of folks. What I would really hope that we can see that we'd have more elected individuals serving as congressmen and as senators in our country to represent the Polish community, because we have the resources to do this. We need to encourage our younger people to be involved, and that would be my hope that we can actually move this forward.
Polish National Alliance slowly approaching 150 years in helping Polish Americans, sometime born here. Over 2 million people over these years, and a lot of help, a lot of from the money. And I've seen new members coming to this building. I think the last couple of months brought us new members to the PNA. Some may still ask, what do you need to do to become a member?
Well, to become a member of this Polish National Alliance, it takes to purchase a life insurance certificate in order to be part and parcel of this group. And why is it so important? Because the more members you have, the more influence you have. And I'm looking at it from a political perspective, whether it's President-elect Trump, President Biden, or our mayors of our city, or our governors. They look at how large is the organization. You can have your social organizations, et cetera, but numbers speak itself and the value of the organization. And you're correct. We're approaching now our 145th anniversary in the next month or so. February 14th, we will be 145 years in existence. Now, started by just a handful of successful businessmen, Polish Americans at that time, 145 years ago. They started this organization on the premise of what? Educating people, because the people, when they first came across the pond, I'll say the ocean, they came by batore, by boat. They didn't know the language, they didn't know the culture of this country. And these folks that started this organization started assimilating these people by providing housing for them, housing, food, education, and jobs. And what constituted the formation of this organization was collection of money. Collection of money for the sense that when people were starting to arrive by the droves, by thousands, people started also dying. And what happened when people started dying, somebody had to pay for the last expenses. And this organization stepped in by collecting the 25 cents a month. X number of dollars was paid, specifically $500 was paid in the event that the husband or the head of the household would pass away. If the wife had passed away, it was $300. And you'd say, my God, in this day, it's discrimination. Why was the lady, why was the expenses for the woman less of an amount? And the reason for that was because the women were the caretakers of the household. The husbands were the breadwinners, and that's how that interpretation was made. But that actually changed, because now we're all equal. For many, many years, this was one of the first organizations they gave equal voting rights to women as members before the Women's Suffrage Act in the United States. So this organization has always been on top of things as a innovator of moving forward and addressing issues as they are. So today, our Polonia is a little different. It is much different. It's educated, it's financially sound, but again, they still need to be part and parcel of an organization that represents the Polish community. It's like the churches. You belong in the church for your moral values, for your religious beliefs, etc., regardless of what religion you belong to. But this organization is like a pillar as far as the community is concerned.
I've seen some numbers. People started traveling again, record numbers for buying obviously gifts for Christmas. Hopefully 2025 would be good for economy as well. And I'm pretty sure that you're hoping that President Trump will keep his promises. Did he already call you on your cell phone with Christmas wishes?
No, not on Christmas wishes. Well, we did certainly talk after the election. We did speak briefly. Again, he's the President of the United States, a busy man. He's got a lot more important issues than to speak to me on these issues, especially in what's going on with the economy, with the with safety, global safety, I should say, and the immigration. There's so many issues right now under control. So, you know, I appreciate anything that the president can do to help our community or reach out to us as well.
Czego możemy oczekiwać? Jakie życzenia usłyszymy od prezydenta Spuli?
Pierwsza rzecz, ja chcę Państwu, co słuchają, popierają nasze organizacje, nasze anteny PNA 103.1.1 i nasz dziennik związkowy i Kongres Polonii Amerykańskiej za Wasze poparcie. Ja naprawdę ja nie tylko Wam, ale Waszym rodzinom życzę na spokojnych świąt, zdrowych świąt i odpoczynku w tych czasach, bo w te czasy to są takie stresujące, czy to kupować jakie prezenty dla dzieci, czy dla żony, czy dla swoich mężów, czy dla wnuczków. To jest takie stresujący czas. To teraz święty, jak przychodzą czas, zabrać ten czas, żeby trochę odpocząć i podziękować Panu Bogu, że my żyjemy, że mamy dach nad nami i że nie mamy żadnych wojen tu w Stanach Zjednoczonych, że mamy pracę i że mamy same siebie jako w rodzinie, bo rodziny są najważniejsze w tych czasach. Rodziny i przyjaciele to są najważniejsze rzeczy, co człowiek może mieć.
A najcenniejszym prezentem podobno jest czas, który możemy podarować drugiej osobie. Ten czas dzisiaj podarował nam Frank Spula, prezes Kongresu Polonii Amerykańskiej i Związku Narodowego Polskiego. Panie prezesie, również gorące życzenia, podziękowania i samych najlepszych chwil w 2025.
Dziękuję. Jeszcze raz wesołych świąt i szczęśliwego nowego roku. Dziękuję, panie Niemczyk.